David Hearst, Editor-in-Chief of the Middle East Eye, joins us now in the studio. Thank you very much for coming in here. So, David, we were just outside the Saudi consulate and a candlelight vigil is being held there, and it's been 3 weeks since his disappearance. As a journalist and as his friend, how do you feel?
Well, immensely sad. It's been a very traumatic 3 weeks for all of us as the truth has come out. The Turkish authorities knew the truth very soon after his death. There was initially some optimism in the first days that he was still inside the embassy, and this was almost like a kidnap situation. The Turkish authorities were always very, very clear. He never left the building. And so what we've seen now from the Saudis is a series of lies, basically. They've changed their story, as you say, 3 times, possibly even more. And the more they change the story, the less credible the Saudis become. As the Turkish authorities have said, where's the body? If they were really cooperating with this exercise, if they really felt remorse, they would indicate to the Turkish police where the body, or rather body parts, are buried.
So also the prosecutor came out today and said it was premeditated, and you are mentioning it again, so the body is still missing. What do you make of it? Will we see the body?
Not in its entirety, no. My information is that some parts of the body were actually flown back to Riyadh, almost like a trophy, a sort of medieval, barbaric trophy. I think Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince, is in a corner, and he's changing his tune all the time. He is twisting on a rope. And it's a question of will anyone actually pull it? His tone yesterday in Riyadh, where he was very emollient to Turkey and even to Qatar, was completely different to the arrogant tone he took a few days after the interview. A few days after the killing, when he was interviewed by Bloomberg, when he was very arrogant and very dismissive of the number of prisoners in Turkish jails, for instance. Yesterday, he was completely different, and he was trying to be flexible. I don't think he has any flexibility, because the more evidence comes out, the more it points directly to him.
So, looking at the international community, how do you think they have reacted so far? Do you think they have failed when it comes to sanctions or putting an action that has consequences?
Well, the media has worked overtime, particularly the US media. And I think there's a real furore going on in Congress, a Congress which might change politically anyway because of the midterm elections and could become even more hostile to Trump. Trump himself has changed his tune, and he's now more or less said that he doesn't believe the Saudi account. But he started by saying the Saudi account was credible. He's always said he wants to protect oil contracts. So the key question now is how much pressure is Washington, or indeed Britain, willing to put on the House of Saud to change the Crown Prince? They've done it in the past. They've changed Crown Princes and they've changed Saudi kings. The question is, what is the calculation now? Do they think that there'll be less instability if bin Salman continues, or do they think there'll be more instability if he becomes king?
Well, David Hearst, thank you very much for joining us here in the studio in London.